everybody. Welcome to day 5 of our introduction to mindfulness. I'd asked yesterday what sort of meditation we should do today, and the votes came in. Thank you for reaching out to me. We're going to do a body scan meditation today, but I'm also adding to this an element of healing. Some of this is a little personal for me. I think I'm not alone in this feeling of a little bit of overwhelm, the feeling like things are not right within us, things are not right in the world around us, and how we can use the power of centering, how we can use the power of mindful meditation to bring compassion to ourselves and to others, and to bring healing both within ourselves and hopefully in this world as well. I briefly talked earlier about that meditation was not just about breath control, and that its true purpose was actually far, far more powerful. I thought today we could just touch on that. And as with yoga, and meditation is a part of yoga as well, the ultimate aim is union. It's union of the self with the divine self, with the larger self, with greater consciousness. And at a time like this, where we feel so fragmented, where we feel such a sense of otherness, this might be a very good and a very powerful time for us to feel that sense of union, that feeling, that sense of oneness and togetherness. In meditation itself, in the process of the breathing, while we talked about the in-breath and the out-breath and how the out-breath can activate the parasympathetic nervous system, there is one more aspect to it which I thought we could touch on today. And that is the gap, the silence, the nothingness. That's that moment where we are completely desire-free, where we are free of all the identifications that we otherwise traverse the world through. And that's that moment of silence. I'm so sorry, I haven't introduced my son Uday, who's been my camera person for many of my videos as well. He's joining me in today's meditation, and he's going to be showing an alternate posture, but also for me to say that do involve children in this process. I've seen children are so much more intuitive to things like this. In fact, as adults, we can learn a lot just by watching them and observing them. I feel we have a lot less to teach them and a lot more to learn from them. So Uday is going to be a representative of all of that, I hope. Okay, so we're going to do 15 minutes today. A lot of it, some of it will be in silence. I'm going to use the same timer from Insight Timer that we had yesterday, so that that's one less moving part for me. Again, with meditation, the idea is not to look for novelty. The idea is not to look for entertainment. Use that in the initial days by picking out, trying different meditations, see what works for you. But eventually, when it becomes a habit, it's just about showing up for the practice. It's just about being there, coming back to yourself, and hopefully finding the gap. Now, this gap is that moment between an in-breath and an out-breath. So what we'll do is we'll take a few breaths that will have a pause between the in and out breaths. Okay. Now we're artificially sort of trying to identify the gap. This isn't the same as what we would come across in meditation. In fact, some of us meditate for years and years and we don't really experience the gap. Sometimes we dip into it for a few seconds, but today we'll also be doing it through a visualization. And once again, I think the fact that many people will be doing it together could be very, very powerful. For today's meditation, I'm going to invite you to find the most comfortable position for yourselves. So if sitting upright is without support is not that comfortable, go ahead and do what Uday is doing, which is to find back support. I also invite you to lie down for today's meditation. A body scan is a beautiful thing to do lying down. So go ahead, do that. And of course, if you're sitting on the ground, don't forget to put a cushion under your sit bone so that you can create a nice strong base with 3 points of contact with the ground. And hand positions, once again, can be upturned on your lap. it's a sense of openness that we have to receiving. Hands turned down helps us feel more grounded, more centered, more points of contact with the earth. Hands on your lap with your dominant hand below your non-dominant, with thumbs lightly touching. This can also be a very effective guide, because as you find yourself getting lost in thought, you if you start thinking about the future, very often your hands will start pointing forward. If you start getting caught up in thoughts of your past, we'll often find ourselves sort of curling inwards and backwards. So, a very, very powerful tool to just feel the light touch of your fingertips as a guide to keeping yourself in the present, enjoying the moment. Sometimes we feel a little guilty, like we shouldn't be, that we don't deserve to be enjoying this when the whole world is suffering. And to that, I will just say that if we cannot look after ourselves, we are no help to anyone else. And therefore it is worth the time for us to take this little bit of time to give ourselves some compassion, in order that we might be able to give greater compassion to so many others. So if you're ready, please find your comfortable spot and join me for 15 minutes of meditation. We begin with 3 breaths. What we will do is take the in breath on a count of 4, hold for 2, out breath on a count of 7, and hold for 2. The hold for 2 is a moment of perfect silence. In, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold 2. Breathe normally. Don't search for the gap. Don't struggle for it. It will come to us when we are ready and when we put in the practice. For now, we're going to do a body scan. We're going to learn to love our bodies and work with our bodies without judgment and with compassion. This is a great way for us to relax and energize ourselves. Let's begin with our toes. You can do this in many different ways. Just feel the muscles, scrunch them up if you like. Release. Or just feel a warm energy beginning a flow from your toes up your body. The choice is yours. Feel your feet, the underside of your feet, come into contact with the earth and carry your weight and carry you forward in this world. Your ankles, your shins, your calves, feel the warmth moving up into your knees. Feel the strength in your knees. Any part of your body that feels tired or in pain, feel free to stop there and give it a little more love. Just breathe into it. Recognize that it is pain in your body. In breath, hold, out breath. We move now into our thighs, our longest and strongest muscles. They work so hard for us. Let's give them some love. Into our hips, our pelvis, our sit bones, warmth moving up your spine, vertebra by vertebra. This is the back that holds us up straight, that gives us courage, that sends signals to the rest of our bodies, receives stimulus, and takes it back into our brain. Let us show gratitude to our bodies. Up our tummies, our chest. Feel the energy rise into your shoulders. Take a roll back if you like. Reset your shoulders. Feel the energy, feel the warmth. Go down your arms, your biceps, your triceps, your elbows, your forearms. Feel your hands. There is strength in them. There is so much potential in them for work, for service, for love, for creation. Let's look at our hands from the inside out. Let us thank our hands for the work that they do. Let the energy now move up your spine and into your neck. Let's take a deep breath in, hold, and exhale. Hold. We're going to let the energy, the warmth, the relaxation creep over the back of our skulls, right over the top of our heads and around the sides until coming to wrap around our face. Feel your forehead relax. Feel your eyebrows relax. Feel your eyelids relax. Can you see the tip of your nose from the inside? Feel your cheeks soften, your lips soften, your jaw soften. We'll move in now, a little deeper into each of us, where we can observe our body functioning, blood coursing through our body, cleansing us, oxygenating us, keeping us alive, keeping us thriving, healing us. Feel our fabulous brain and all the functions that it performs. Our throat that gives expression and receives food and water. Our lungs that work non-stop, filtering, cleaning the air. our hearts that beat non-stop, so strong, so powerful. Deep breath in, hold, release, hold. Let's look at our organs of digestion, our kidney, our gallbladder, all doing their job. There's no worry there. Will I fail? Am I good enough? How do I compare with other body parts or other people's body parts? They're just doing what they ought to be doing to the best of their ability. Let's move in deeper still now and come into touch with our emotions. What is it that we're feeling right now? Let's just try and put a name to it. That is the emotion that we're feeling. That is not us. Is it anxiety? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it loneliness? Is it love? Is it hope? Once we identify a feeling, once we shine a light on it, it's no longer fearful. Fear lurks only in darkness. Once there is awareness, once there is light, you can just see it for what it is. Let's move deeper into our thoughts now. What's going on in our heads? Are there 10 thoughts? 100? 1,000? A million? It is the job of the mind to have thoughts. It doesn't mean they all need a reaction to. It doesn't mean that they all need our attention. It doesn't mean that they all need an action from us. Let's go deeper in now, deeper still, into the deepest well of us. It is the deep. Take a deep breath. Hold. Exhale. Hold. The deepest center of us is like the depths of the ocean. There are no waves there, no tsunamis, no excitement. It is beautiful, it is calm, it is all enveloping. This is us in deep sleep, in deep rest. And at the deepest point of this ocean is the true center of us. It is that pearl which is as much a part of the ocean that is in every one of us. And it looks no different from a pearl that is in every living being. It is the essence of who we are. And this essence is bliss. Its natural state is all-knowing, all-powerful, all-calm, all happiness. It cannot be touched by any of the forces on the planet. is this center of us that we touch into. It is this center of us, in each of us, that we recognize in each other. We each have this capacity. It is that we must draw on for us to function effectively in this world. From this center, we draw our energy and we slowly start to move out. Before we reach our thoughts, let us stop to acknowledge for a minute that we have something else. We have an intellect. It is the power of discrimination. It is our choice-making ability. Deep breath. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Our intellect can guide our thoughts, can decide which ones are worth watering, which ones are worth giving attention to. We cannot save the whole world, but perhaps we can save one other person, help one other person. Let's examine our abilities and let's act mindfully and consciously with purpose. Let us direct our energy, and our intellect can help us do that. And when emotions come to our heart, come to our breast, let us think of ourselves as a mountain. Clouds gather around the mountain, but the peak is forever above. Our intellect is above this as well. So it's not that we don't feel, but we will know what to do with these emotions when they come to us. And we will know that this is not us. They are simply clouds floating by. And when our mind becomes strong and our intellect powerful, we have the power to heal ourselves as well. And when we are healthy in mind, in emotion, and in body, we are able to fulfill our purpose here on this earth. We are able to draw from a never-ending source of strength, which lies in each of us and in every one of us. I now invite you, whenever you're ready, to come back to your surroundings. Take one last deep, energizing breath. Hold it. Release. If you're lying down, this is a good time to sit up. Take your time with opening your eyes. There's no hurry. If you're a little stiff, this is a good time to just stretch. Stretch your arms forward, stretch your arms up, stretch your neck back to the side. Welcome back, everyone. I don't know about you, but I think I almost have tears in my eyes. I'm feeling such a sense of calm and oneness. I woke up this morning also feeling a little bit of despair, wondering if we as humanity were becoming so selfish that we couldn't help our immediate neighbors, those less fortunate than us. But like I said, sometimes if we're helping just one person And if that one person is even ourselves, if we're in need of that help, that is our dharma. That is our job done. Thank you so much for joining me. And if anybody needs help, please do reach out. This is a tough time. Go ahead, ask for help. This isn't a time for anybody to be alone. Thank you, and have a wonderful day, and keep up the practice. Goodbye.